What's going on, Lumineers? My name is Nerdstrom, and today I will be playing against myself. Today we've got a classic tale as old as time, and I'm talking about the fact that on this side we've got ourselves a legendary type of deck going back to set one. We've got Lorcana's Amber Steel Songs deck going against Ruby Sapphire Control deck. I don't pull any punches here, guys. Whenever I play, you'll know pretty much exactly at least one color that's going to be existing on here. You'll see it on the mat. You'll see it on the sleeves. You'll see it on the mats. I try my best to not to hide anything on there. I don't know why I do this. It's just why I do. But usually whenever I do practice, especially when it comes to set championship season, as we are currently in right now, I always try to spend my time training against myself because I am my own worst enemy, and the only way to get better is by making myself better. So that's what I do. So right here, I've got some matches, and these are a couple of decks that I'm still trying to figure out which deck I'm going to be using for set championships. And so yeah, together we'll go ahead and figure out what exactly that's going to be. This is also a proof of concept video. I'm just trying to demonstrate to see if it is doable for me to go ahead and do live streams myself. Hence the shoddy camera work and all that kind of stuff. The fact that there's only one angle. You can't see my beautiful, beautiful face. That's okay. That comes down the line. So, we got to roll. High roll goes first. I'm going to start representing Amber Steels first. So that's going to roll, and it rolls a... That's not it. I totally just flipped that thing. All right, so Amber Steel gets a 6. And... reverse, I'm going to go ahead and see what Sapphire gets. They get a 5. So I'm going to have Amber Steel Songs go ahead and go first for this thing, which considering the depth that Amber Steel Songs has and potential to have a little bit of an advantage, at least the way that I built it, it might be a good move. So as you guys know, each deck deals 7 cards to start off with, and we're going to help decide a mulligan situation. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to first, since Amber Steel Songs is going first, I'm going to go ahead and see what Ruby Sapphire's hand is going to be first. I will try my best to, when I do play these games, I try to do my best to maintain somewhat of a sense of ignorance of what goes on in the opposite person's hand. I try to see, just because I just want to demonstrate, okay, there's potential for not knowing what these sort of things are, but it does also mean that it also helps me train for what it could potentially come in the future if I ever do face the same deck builds. So simple as that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and get my mulligan set up. I'm going to take a risk, and I am going to start by sending back 4 and drawing the 4. Now, one thing that I do whenever I do train by myself is I don't exactly once I get the mulligan of the second player, I usually never know what this player is playing until the second person actually comes up and actually plays. So I know what the first 3 cards are, but I usually never know what the 4 cards are to start off. So yeah. It's I'm doing this in the wake of the North American Championships, and I have yet to see the day 2 footage on there too. I did get to see some of it, but I didn't get to see the climax of it. But I'm definitely hoping at least one of these cards, at least one of these decks made deep. We'll see. All right, so this is all shuffled. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this like I hopefully would in actual gameplay. As far as you know. Now, let's see. So Amber Steel Songs is we're going to go ahead and see what this one holds. I am not liking that, or this, or that. I'm going to send back 4 as well on Amber Steel Songs. Now, when you're in a situation like this where you're playing Ruby Sapphire, as an Amber Steel Songs player, generally you would probably want to, because Ruby Sapphire is not going to be doing a whole lot of stuff until like a lot later in the deck, lot later in the game. It's spending its time just trying to build its resources so it can hit those big haters later on. So you're trying to, in most cases, you're trying to like advance your score early enough so that you can build up a big lead, so that when the inevitable things do happen, you're still well prepared to take advantage. So generally, Amber Steel Song is usually weaker against Ruby Sapphire. But there are many different ways to build it. Now, my deck in particular is considered a songs deck, but there are a couple of aggro plays that I do have at my disposal in the event that I do face off against a Ruby Sapphire deck. It's not necessarily like it's not necessarily fully aggro build, because that's not the whole point of the deck, but it does hold its own in its own way. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by playing. I'm going to start by inking Strength of Raging Fire, and I'm going to spend that one to play Daisy Duck. Whenever that character quests, opponent reaches the top card of their deck, and if it's a character card, they can put it in their hand. Otherwise, they can put it down on the bottom of their deck. All right, I'm going to pass the turn to myself, my player 2. And now in Ruby Sapphire, now this particular build is built more like a classic kind of Sisu on Ice model. However, the one thing that it does have is it does have a number more counters to handle more aggro builds. And so I am trying my best to kind of get to those things and be able to kind of take out multiple small characters early. But as you're going to kind of see in this one, you're going to notice that I might have a problem with this early on, and because you're going to see I kind of break the hand. I kind of break the mulligan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that tends to be a cardinal sin in a Ruby Sapphire deck. I'm going to ink Hiram Flaversham, and I'm going to pass turn. So, not going so well, at least in this regard. So what I will also do is I will see if I can get these angled in a little bit closer so you can see at least the score of it. And I'll try to keep those in the area. And what I'll also do is when I do scroll it up, I'm just going to go ahead and just put it up against the angle so you guys can see what the score is going to be. Now, I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. Actually, did I even draw for turn on this one? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and blind draw. We're getting off in a great. We're going off really easy on this. Going off well on this first live stream. You're going to love this, Illumineers. All right, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and ink in Ursula. And I will spend 2 to play Mr. Smee. At the end of your turn, if this character is exerted and you don't have a captain character in play, you deal 1 damage to this character. But those guys who are familiar with how the Mr. Smee usually works in most Steel Song builds, your whole goal is to try to get more, just try to get as much lore as you can before either somebody takes it out or does it. And you can get as much as like 6 ink on 6 lore. On the board, if as long as nobody protects it. So the potential for a high gain can be there. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and quest for 2 with Daisy Duck, and due to Daisy Duck's effect, we're gonna go ahead and reveal the opponent. And yes, it is a character card, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick that in Tipo inside the hand. And with that, I will pass the turn to Ruby Sapphire. Now, Ruby Sapphire is going to start by drawing a card. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. So I did this right. Okay. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to ink a quill, and I'm going to spend 2 to play Tipo. When you play this character, you can place a face down card. You may put a card from your hand into your inkwell face down and exerted. And so I will do such. You don't get to know what it is because it's face down and exerted. But I know exactly what it is. And I will go ahead and pass turn. It's a thing that I don't want to do, but I have no choice. This guy's is due to grab a decent amount of lore early on this turn. And this is the reason why we build Amber Steel this way, just in case I do get hit with a Ruby Sapphire, which is the nemesis of Amber Steel songs. I still have the ability to gain lore as soon as I possibly can. So there's that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to ink an Ariel, and I'm going to spend 3 for Pete. And I'm going to go ahead and quest for 4 to 6. So now Amber Steel Songs has 6 lore. And now Pete, when you play this character, opponents can't play check actions until the start of the next turn. Generally, I'm trying to hoping that like there might be a brawl in that hand, or I mean, if there's a Sisu involved, I can't really do much of anything for that. But I do want to make sure that there's no brawls in hand that could just easily kind of take advantage that quickly. So with that, I will pass turn over to Ruby Sapphire. Now, I do have a Tipo on the field here on this side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw for turn. Now because I have Pete on the ground, I unfortunately can't brawl, which is unfortunate. I'm going to ink a brawl, but I am going to. Oh, actually, Mr. Smee does take 1 damage because he was exerted at the end of his turn, so I'm going to go add that on there. But I do have a Sisu, and oh shoot, I didn't do Daisy's X effect, did I? I'm going to reveal that. That's a thing. So, full disclosure, Lucky Dime was actually the one that I picked up. So when I first drew, that should technically be the Daisy play. But I am going to go ahead and banish that. Again, we're off onto a great start. And usually I'm pretty good at remembering Daisy when I'm playing against myself the first time, but after subsequent things, it's usually not that much. It's usually much more difficult to kind of remember that. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and quest for 1. Your boy is not getting shut out on this side. But there's still a pretty decent advantage over on this side in terms of lore gain. Ruby Sapphire is going to pass the turn. Amber Steel Songs is going to start playing again. Now I've got 4 ink on the field. I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. And I am going to start by inking a Pete. And I am going to I'm going to spend 2. Actually, no. No, I'm not. I am going to spend 4 with Rapunzel. I'm going to go and take away that one thing. When you play this character, I can remove up to 3 damage from up to 1 of my characters. Draw a card for each 1 damage removed this way. I'm going to draw that 1 card. And then I'm going to go ahead and quest for 3 to 9. So now Amber Steel has a score of 9 on the board. And I will pass turn. Oh, and then at the end of this turn, Mr. Smee does get his 1 damage back. But I'll pass. I'll see what happens next. Okay. I think you might understand why I'm going to go this route in this regard. We'll see what happens. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. And what I'm going to do is I am going to... Let's see. I'm going to ink Fishbone Quill. And what I'm going going to do is I am going to hit with a Maui. And Maui is going to rush into Mr. Smee. And I will this one takes it out, and I will take 3. The idea basically is I am trying to get rid of the two lore as soon as I can. I don't know what's coming, so like I want to make sure that I'm at least taking advantage of this sort of thing. Now, when I'm closer to something like a score of 9, like how Amber Steel Songs is, or like breaking halfway, this is usually part of the time where I'm definitely trying to do what I can to make sure that board control is not an issue. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and quest for 2 to add 3, and I will pass turn to Amber Steel Song. And so now, got 2 on the field over on this side, and I'm going to draw for turn. And this might work, maybe. Might be taking an awful risk if I do this, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink Rapunzel. And I am going to spend 2 to play Mr. Smee. And I'm going to spend 3 for Lawrence. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to... let's see. I do want to quest for 2 to 11. I'm just kind of debating on whether or not I want to take out Maui, because if I keep Maui up there, there's still a potential for like one, you can get somebody to brawl out another character, so that would mean that Rapunzel's still at stake, and if not, you know, Maui's still there. So so in this case, what I think I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and quest for 1 to 12, because when that does happen, I'll be, if for some reason there's not an attack that's going on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm able to kind of gain another like 7, you know, make it really a threatening presence to kind of have it on the board on there too. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll go ahead and pass turn to Ruby Sapphire. And let's try that. I'm going to draw for turn. And in the case of this particular build, or the thing is on there too, this is actually a fortunate kind of situation for me, because I am able to take out at least 2 of the pieces pretty easily. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ink Flaversham, which again seems like a cardinal sin to be doing in this deck build, but it's necessary for what I'm about to do next. And I'm going to go ahead and spend 6 for Madame Medusa. Madame Medusa is going to take out... Ooh, actually, you know what? I just realized I actually have a better play. I'm going to take out Smee. I'm going to take out Smee. And I'm going to... Actually, no. I shouldn't take out Smee. Right? Yeah, no. I should take out Smee. And then I'm going to go ahead and attack Rapunzel for 1, sending this to 4 damage. This one gets taken out. And then I get to quest for 2 to 5. And I will pass turn. Alright, so I'm slowly kind of whittling. Like, Ruby Sapphire currently is like slowly whittling the amount of characters in play ever so slightly. And we're also starting to get to the magic number where most Ruby Sapphire players know that once you start getting to like 7 ink and stuff like that, you have the ability to kind of do stronger moves and things like that too. So there is still that at play, but we'll see how that goes. I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. I am going to spend 1 for Cinderella, and I'm going to spend 1 for Daisy. I'm trying to do what I can to keep that board presence as strong as I can, in hopes that, you know, maybe opponent doesn't pull a thing. Also, I don't have anything in hand, so I can't really do much of anything. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quest for 3 to 15. As of right now, I do have lethal on the board, so I'm trying to do what I can to kind of press the issue, force it. If he has to do it, be prepared, do what you must. But I do have a pretty distinct advantage in terms of lore gain as of right now on this side. I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn to Ruby Sapphire. All right. Now, if I don't do anything now, somebody's gonna, if I don't do anything now, I lose the game on this side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw for turn, and what I am going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and swing. I'm going to go ahead and swing Tipo into Lawrence. So Tipo goes. It takes 1, but now it's at 0 strength. And what I can do is I will go ahead and finish it off with Madame Medusa. Take this one out. I am going to sack. Actually, you know what? No, I shouldn't have done that. See, in my world, when I do these things, I can reset. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Maui, Lawrence with Maui. So that way it's still alive. I'm going to swing Medusa into Pete and take 3 damage. This is now gone on here. And in addition, I am going to spend 3, and I'm going to brawl Daisy Duck. And what I'll also do in addition is I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to sail the Azurite Sea. This turn I can put an additional card from your hand into my ankle face down. And I can also draw a card. And I'm going to ink Vision of the Future. And I will finally quest for 1 to 6, and then I will pass turn. All right. So I did a pretty generous amount of damage, and I didn't even have to do a Be Prepared, which, as far as you know, I don't have. But I still have lore advantage over on the Amber Steel side, so we'll see how this one goes. I'm going to draw for turn. I am going to spend 2 to play Mr. Smee. And what I think I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and quest for 1 with Cinderella to 16. And I'm going to pass the turn. What I'm kind of hoping is, because Maui has to rush in this thing, hopefully there's not a song that I have to do in order to kind of get this done. And if not, Madame Medusa can also attack. And in any case, I might be able to take one of them out if they have to challenge my character. So we'll see how that goes. I'll pass turn. Ready, set, and draw. I am going to have Madame Medusa sing How Far I'll Go, which allows me to look at the top 2 cards of my deck, put 1 into my hand, and then the other one into my inkwell face down and exerted. Ooh, this is an interesting play. I am going to... I don't know if it's really worth having that up there. And I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to put this one face down. I am going to spend 2 to play Vision of the Future, which allows me to look at the top 2 cards of my deck. 5 cards, excuse me. That's Developing Rain. I can put 1 into my hand and the rest on the bottom of my deck in any order. You know what sucks is that this selection of cards right here, I could have done a whole lot of things with this set. It's very unfortunate, and I'm kind of sad that it is, in fact, the case. Although, you know what? Let's go ahead and take you know what? No, I'm gonna keep this up there. All right, I'm gonna choose that. I'm gonna send back the other ones, and I am going to ink Tipo, and I will use that to play Sisu, which banishes that Cinderella, and I also get to quest for 3 to 9, and I will pass turn. This doesn't unfortunately mean that the Smee is gone. Would be nice to have nice block in that situation, but at least another piece is gone, and I can hopefully run with what I've got. I'm going to spend 1 for Cinderella. I am going to quest for 2, to 18. And I am going to pass turn. Let's see what happens, because I do still technically have lethal on board. I know that, got a feeling that Mr. Smee is going to probably go. And honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what I'm going to do is I am going to spend 7 for dime. Is it up there? Are you seeing that? No, you're not. Lucky dime. There it is. And I am going to go into ink Maui, just in case. You never know. I will go ahead and attack Smee with Maui. Both of them are going to go. I am going to quest for 4 with Sisu, and I'm also going to spend 2, exert this, gain lower equal to this amount that's on this character for another 3 to 16, and just like that, now I have lethal. We'll see how this one goes. I'm going to pass turn, and if nothing happens, I get the win. Well, I get the win either way, but I'm specifically talking about Smee. And it looks like it will be the end. Yep. Quest for 1. Make it look close. This one's going to quest out for 20. Game is over. So, the first game goes to Ruby Sapphire, which now has the card advantage, deck advantage, match advantage as of right now. And so, we will go ahead and start round 2. Now, because we are doing best of 3 in this situation, because Amber Steel Song lost, they have a choice of going first. They're going to go first. I think the direction of what Amber Steel Song was doing was good. However, it did take a little while for it. Eventually, kind of like ran out of steam, and that is a thing that can happen. Eventually, you just kind of like lose the steam with that momentum on there too, and if you don't have enough card advantage or any sort of like things to kind of like continue the onslaught of lore gain, eventually Ruby Sapphire is going to catch up and take advantage of it and do things like board wipes and things like that. I'm amazed I didn't get to be prepared, but I think it still worked out either way. I was able to kind of keep characters on the board while also kind of deleting other characters. Now, I think one of the key plays that did happen with this on this side was that usually whenever you have a situation where you have to play you have to shift a Sisu, you want to be able to kind of get a number of characters off the board as soon as you possibly can. But at the time, there was only one on the field that would have been the victim of the Sisu attack, where it banishes characters 2 or less. But it still kind of worked out in the end, because now I had a quester that was able to kind of give me that lore gain early on, while also getting rid of characters. And again, it's still something that does ruin the momentum of what Hammer Steel Song is trying to do when it comes to being as aggro as it possibly can. So it still kind of worked out in the end, and I'm glad that it did actually kind of work out that way. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle these out. Now I do try to do the same shuffles every time when I'm playing against myself. Usually it's a system of doing 10 of these, and then when I'm first playing the game, I do off camera a set of 6 piles, to which I stack the piles and create decks based off of that, like kind of stacks based off of that. And then I also will then during like the second and third games, I'll do a set of 10 of these shuffles, and then I'll also do a thing where I kind of sandwich the 2, the top and the bottom, kind of put them top to bottom like this. It's not the best one, but it gives me something else to do that doesn't take terribly long when I do create these sort of things. So but yeah, for those people who are watching the stream or are watching this post stream, one question I do have to ask for you guys is, well, what sort of decks are you planning out for set championships? Are you testing out any new builds? Are you trying to create any new decks to kind of hopefully get an advantage that no one's really expecting? Or are you kind of sticking with tried and true kind of decks, like kind of how I am doing? You know, things that just have always been a thing for as long as possible, because you kind of know the deck and you've built a relationship with this sort of deck. So I think for me, like, Steel Song has definitely been something that I've been a big fan of. It took me a very long time to get all the pieces that I needed to make Steel Song deck, because it's still been a very relevant deck, and it's also thus the cards have been very expensive for it. But I'm so glad that I have been able to get to do this, because I do feel I've formed a really solid connection with this deck, and I've always enjoyed it. It's a deck that's netted me a top 4 finish in a set championship, and so far that's the best result that I have to date. So when you're talking about me, I consider myself master of mid, the master being mid. Top 4 finishes in a set championship is my biggest accomplishment. But at the same time, though, I really enjoy this deck, and I really have fun with it. And I also still really enjoy playing Ruby Sapphire as well. I've always been trying to find a good home for it and try to maintain that momentum, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, that being said, the Hammer Steel Song deck is still going first again. And so I must start by getting the mulligan out for the Ruby Sapphire deck first. And that being what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with that, and then I'll do this. Congratulations, I had a Tomato as part of my mulligan. That goes. I can go ahead and stick those in there right there. All right. Now Ruby Sapphire is going to send back 3. This on the bottom, 3 on top, and I will go ahead and shuffle. Now, post mulligan, usually I just shuffle about 10 times before I do anything. Before I, have opponent cut the deck, or in this case, myself cut the deck. That's why you'll see shuffling off screen. Because, dude, does anybody really want to see this? You just want to picture it didn't happen. Just make sure that somebody's actually shuffling the thing. I don't know. If that is the thing, then I can always consider it, if anything. This is my channel. I can do whatever I want. You can stare at a big blank screen for all we know, but we'll see. Anyway, got 10. I'm going to go ahead and cut that. That is the deck. This is part of this. And I will see what Amber Steel Song can do. 3, 4. Nope. 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 I am going to... Actually, no. You know what? That one. I'm going to send back 5. So 5 on the bottom. That... So we're going to go ahead and cut that. And Amber Steel Song is going to go first one more time. Take 2. Let's see if Amber Steel Song can come back from this and get the tie. Now I am looking at this hand and I am kind of liking this one. Now, what I am going to do is start by inking a Pete. And I'm going to spend 1 for the queen. And I'm going to go ahead and pass turn. And I will draw for turn. Start off. This time I'm actually doing it right for Ruby Sapphire. I'm going to start by inking a quill. And I'm going to spend 1 for Popsicle, which allows me to draw a card, and I will pass turn. Alright, and I'm gonna first draw for turn. I am going to I'm gonna ink a Cinderella. I'm gonna spend 2 to shift the queen, and I'm gonna go ahead and quest for 2. I'm gonna pass turn. All right, I'm gonna draw for turn on this side. I am going to ink Sail. I'm going to spend 2 to... Oh. I'm going to ink 2 to play Tipo. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this one into... Actually, no. No, not that one. I'm going to go ahead and stick this one to equal. And I will pass turn. I know I'm leaving one character open, but we'll see what happens. Again, usually in most cases, if you're playing Ruby Sapphire, you want to hopefully have more of an aggro build as an Amber Steel Song player to kind of like get that early card deck advantage, lore advantage as soon as you can. So I drew for card for turn. I am going to shoot. Maybe I did play this wrong. I'm going to go ahead and ink Lawrence. And I am going to spend 3 to play a Pete. I'm going to go ahead and quest for 2 to 4. And I will pass turn. Alright, so Pete's not going to give you me the ability to do any actions over on this side. But considering what I've got on the field and what I've got in my hand, well, I guess I can focus on other things, I guess. I'm going to do something really stupid, but maybe it might pay off in the end. I'm going to ink Hiram. Again, the cardinal sin of playing Ruby Sapphire is doing that. I'm going to spend 2 to sail the Azurite Sea. Draw a card. I can put another card from my hand into my ink will face down, to which I am going to do that. I'm going to ink Fishbone Quill. I'm going to spend 2 to play Sail the Azurite Sea, draw a card, and put another ink will hand to my ink will face down. I will not do that. Instead, I'm going to spend 1 to play Ice Block, and I am going to quest for 1, and I will pass turn. We'll see where we go from there. Now I'll draw for turn. Now I am going to... That's not a thing I really wanted to do. I was hoping I wouldn't have to worry about this. I am going to... I'm going to ink a Cinderella first. I'm going to spend 1 for Daisy, and I will spend 2 for Mr. Smee. So use a current right over there on that side. And I'm going to get a quest for 2 to 6. And screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and quest for 1 to 7. And I will pass turn. Okay. So, Ruby Sapphire is going to start over here. I'm going to draw for turn. This is exactly what I was hoping would not happen. I'm going to quest for 1 with Tipo. I am going to spend 3 on Sisu, and I'm going to banish Daisy, and I am going to pass turn. Seems I may be able to survive this one yet. Drop turn. Yeah, people are going to look at this and see that's overkill, but I kind of feel like, considering the situation you got on there, you got 5 ink over on that side, you got a C2 on the board, there is a potential to shift, and I still can get ice blocked in some sort of way to kind of get rid of Smee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Queen sing Along Came Zeus onto Sisu. And I will go ahead and spend 2 to play Ursula. And then I am going to quest for 3 to 10. So now I am at 10 on that one. End phase. Mr. Smee takes 1. I will pass turn. I will... Tipo somehow lives to fight another day. It's always interesting whenever that is the case. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to ink prepare your bot. I'm going to go ahead and ice block the Queen, to which I'm going to Madame Medusa the Queen, and now the Queen is gone. And then I am going to quest for 1 to 3, and I will pass turn. The only thing I can do is stall long enough until I can get some kind of advantage. And that is why this build is built the way it is. And when it does kind of get going, you can kind of somehow get a little bit more of a, slowly but surely get a little bit of an advantage in board presence, in banishment, like, getting rid of characters. Eventually, it happens, but so far. Now, I don't have any cards on this field until now, and I really wish I had the queen. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I am going to go ahead and quest for 4 to 14. This one's going to take 2, and I'm going to go ahead and pass turn. All right. All I can do is press the advantage over on that side, so that's the other thing. So I'm going to draw for turn. Brutal. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have Tipo take out Smee. And I am going to have Medusa take out Ursula. Take 1. I'm going to pass turn. I understand that I could have taken Ice Block, but I'm not going to go ahead and do that. So we'll see. Anyway. Turn. And with that, I will spend 4 on Prince Naveen, which will then play Whole New World. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully that does mean that, and I already know this, but be prepared. Sisu, Lucky Dime, all of those beautiful cards. They are no more, unfortunately, for Ruby Sapphire, which is a shame. But, you got to do what you got to do. I am going to go ahead and what I'm going to do next is ink. I'm going to ink Strength. And I am going to quest for 1 to 15, and I'm going to go ahead and pass turn. I could have just as easily wheeled all the way into another Be Prepared, which is a risk of them that I have no choice to take, but you never know. Turn. Okay, so I am going to ink Prepare Your Bot. And what I see on the field right now is that there's 3 on the opposing side. I have the ability to kind of live like one more day. So I could either okay, I'm going to try to see if I can suppress things. But honestly, when I do that, the only thing I'm going to be able to attack is a Pete. And that's not going to really do much of a difference compared to if I was able to have Prince of Vian on the field that I can go ahead and destroy. So what I'm going to do is try... Let's start off with this. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to play Maui. Excuse me, 2. Yeah, that's not it. 2 for Tipo. I'm going to put another card face down and Exerted, which will be this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit Maui. Now he's going to smack Pete. I will take 3. Down to 3. Yes. Shoddy looking thing, whatever. And then I am going to quest for 2 to 5. I'm gonna go ahead and banish this popsicle to put that back up to 1. And I will go ahead and pass turn. We'll see where we go from there. Yeah, I understand I could have probably done Ice Block, but we'll see. It's whatever. Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna draw for turn. I'm going to ink Ursula. I'm going to spend 3 for Ariel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a look at the 4 cards, see if I can find a song card, put it in my hand and back in any order. Put the rest back in any order. I'm going to reveal Along Came Zeus, which I would love to use right now. Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to spend 3 on a Lawrence. And let's see. I'm trying to think. Should I try to go for the win? Well, I mean, I should always try to go for the win when I can. You got 7 on the field. There's potential for be prepared. If I do it, what I can try to do is... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot and hope that there's no be prepared. Because if there's not, then... I win the game. So I'm going to go ahead and quest for 2. I'm going to pass turn to Ruby Sapphire. I've got the resources necessary to do something good, but we'll see. I am going to draw for turn. I will... Let's see. Well, I gotta give it a shot, man. Gotta see. So I'm gonna ink Harm. This is my last play. I'm gonna spend 2, sail the Azure Sea, and I'm gonna draw a card. Nope, it is not the case. Oh well, let's play it through, see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and spend 4 for Flower Shame. I'm going to banish this ice block, draw 2. 1 for ice block, 2 for Tipo. Put that equal face down and exerted. Quest for 2. Even if I tried to hit the Prince Naveen, you'd still have lethal on the board. So, with that said, there you go. So now, Amber Steel has 1 win as well. So now we get to go to Game 3. Game 3 will decide, with a tale as old as time, who is the best deck, Ruby Sapphire or Amber Steel Song. So, let's go ahead and get to it. So, go ahead and do this. Now, Ruby Sapphire is going to start first in the case of this one. And we will see the end result of that. What's really funny is I'm looking at the timing on the video right now, and I'm seeing like, okay, I'm pretty sure that if I was playing it at this pace in a set championship or anything like that, I would probably get timed out at some point, and then it would be resulting in a draw. But this is done at my house, so I can go as fast or as slowly as I want to. Anyway, so there is that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a couple seconds just to rest up. This is the final match coming up next, so just give me 2 seconds. Okay, I am back. Now, so what I should actually do is I should go ahead and first shuffle this one. Even though Sapphires going first, shuffle, mulligan, come back over here. That's actually what the route should actually be. So, we'll go ahead and do that. Now, I have, ever since the beginning of the game, I have been always trying to collect Lorcana mats. It's been kind of like an obsession of mine in addition to the game itself. And the first mat that I ever got was the Maui mat that you see right over here. And when I compare it to the other mats that came out in the first set, the Maleficent, the Steamboat Willie one, I kind of resented this mat a little bit because, like, I just didn't really feel like it was as cool of a mat as the other ones are. But as time went on, I started to kind of like have more of an appreciation for the mat. And I especially figured out that I did like it when I went to the Disney Lorcana Challenge in Seattle, which is where I hail from. And I saw that retailers that were at the event were actually selling it for $180, and I was like, "Oh, well, this actually kind of makes it a little bit special." So I was a little bit proud of that. But yeah, so I've grown. But out of that initial resentment for the thing, I was very upset. I was very obsessed with trying to get new mats and try to stay current with the sort of thing. That's the reason why the collection that I had is as big as possible. Now I'm at this point where my goal is to have a mat for every color that does exist in the game as of right now. And as of right now, I am missing a ruby mat. I am also missing I think I don't have a ruby mat, and I do not have an emerald mat. So those are the two ones that I'm trying to look for. I know there's a stitch that's out there, but I think the only one that ever came out for emerald, save for like I think the save for like a championship mat is the Steamboat Willie. So if I can somehow get a pants on that, or maybe get the new mats when they come out later on, hopefully should. Now I think the ones I do have the most of would be of the amber and the amethyst ones, because I do have two. I have the Encanto, Look at This Family one for amber, and I also do have Just in Time. And then in the amethyst, I have Belle, and I do have who's the other one? Somebody else. I can't remember. Maybe that is the only one I have. Amethyst. I do want Maleficent really bad. That'd be really cool. Oh yeah, no. Actually, Steel is the other one I do have. Plenty of. I do have the Donald Duck, and I do also have the Tinkerbell one. Which Tinkerbell, that is a pretty sweet mat. I just love how like does also happen to be one of the staple decks in. Oh shoot, I didn't do this. Staple decks in. Staple cards in the Steel thing. So I think it's still a pretty relevant card, especially when it comes to just being able to damage your characters, damage opponents consistently. So yeah, I really do like that one a lot. So, I mean, since you're here, or not here, you're definitely not watching live. What would you say are your favorite mats from the Lorcana sets so far? And do you have a dream mat that you kind of really hope that Lorcana will make sometime in the future? Me personally, my favorite card all time is BLT, the Brave Little Tailor Mickey, and I've always wanted to have a mat that shows Mickey Brave Little Tailor on it, and I mean, it would fulfill my my ruby need for a mat, but it is also my favorite card in the deck in the game. So Is that? Matter of fact, like up until like I possibly had no choice but to kind of replace it. In my Ruby Sapphire deck, I use that quite often in my deck builds for that thing because it was an 8-drop and netted you 4 lore and it was evasive. So I was always proud of that thing. Easily Zeused, but still pretty solid. Pretty solid card nonetheless. You could also get World's Greatest Killer Mind as well too. But yeah. Okay, so let's see. This way. Yep. 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 Okay, I am going to. I'm going to send back 4 on this side. And then we will go and shuffle. Okay, it's. I don't hate this build. We'll see. Okay, I am going to send. Well, I should do everything else. Yeah, maybe. You never know. I want to send back 3. Put those in there. Okay. So now Ruby Sapphire gets to go first this turn. And Ruby Sapphire is going to start by inking a vision, spending 1 for a popsicle, draw a card, and I will pass turn. I will draw for turn. I am going to start here by inking a strength, and I'm going to spend 1 for a daisy. All right, and I'm going to pass turn. All right. So on this side, I'm going to draw for turn. And that is the thing that I was hoping I would get now. I will go ahead and ink a popsicle. I'm going to spend 2 for Tipo. Allows me to put another card face down and exert it. I'm going to select that one, and I will pass turn. I'll go ahead and draw for turn. And I am going to... I'm going to ink a Rappy. And I am going to spend 1 each for a Cinderella and a Queen. I will go ahead and quest for 2. And let's go ahead and reveal that card. Dang, it's character. Pretty good character at that. I will go ahead and I will pass turn. Pass turn. Okay. Draw for turn. I am going to ink Tamatoa. I will go ahead and spend 3 to Brawl Daisy Duck. That goes away. And I don't have to worry about character questing anymore. And I will go ahead and quest for 1, and I will pass turn. Okay, I'm going to drop turn. I will go ahead and ink a Pluto. And I will spend 3 for Pete. Right? Do I want to do that? Yes. And then I'm going to go ahead and have Cinderella sing Storm Rage on Tipo, which allows me to draw a card. And I will quest for 1 with the Queen, and I will pass turn. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. I will go ahead and ink Hideaway, and I'll spend 5 for Maui, which is going to rush into Cinderella. Take 1. I will banish this popsicle, take it away, and I will pass turn. And the main reason why I did that is I want to be able to take out at least one of these ones, so we'll see. Rough turn. And I am going to ink Cinderella. I'm going to spend 4 for Prince Naveen, which will then sing Whole New World. Prince Naveen goes away. I discard that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards are in play. And I will go ahead and discard this. So Medusa, how far I'll go, and I'll brawl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Usually whenever you do have these situations, you kind of hope that you can get one of those big hitters to drop away. Not exactly the case in this one. We'll see. I will go ahead and quest for 1 to 4. So now I've got 4. Is it going to show? Yeah. Yeah. There you go. 4. All right, cool. Pass turn. And now he has no choice but to get hit by that thing, as far as we know. Draw for turn. I will go ahead and I will ink a Maui. I will go ahead and spend 3 to brawl the Queen, and then I will have no choice but to. Oh, actually, no. Hang on. Do I have? No, I don't. I'll go ahead and hit Pete, and I'll take 3. Oop. And I will pass turn. I will draw for turn. And I will go ahead and ink a Rapunzel. I will go ahead and spend 3 for Pete, 2 for Smee, and I will go ahead and quest for 2 to 6, and I'll pass turn. Alright, so I can't do any actions. I will go ahead and very tough. I'm gonna ink a Tipo, and I'm gonna spend 7 to dime, and I'll go ahead and hit Naveen. Both of them will go away, and I will pass turn. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. I will... going to ink Queen. I'm going to spend 1 for the Queen. I'm going to spend 2 to shift the Queen. I'm going to spend 3 to play Ariel, which allows me to search for a song. And I get none, which sucks. I will quest for 3 to 9. Take 1, and I'm going to see if I'm going to accept my fate. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. I am going to ink Tipo. I'm going to spend 7 to be prepared here. From this side, that all goes away. And that is the thing that you really wish you never had to deal with when it comes to Ruby Sapphire, but it is always an inevitability. We'll go ahead and pass turn. And this is actually probably the best advantage you could possibly have for Ruby Sapphire, because now, not only do you have nothing on board, but you also didn't sack any characters on the board at the same time, too. Draw for turn. I'm going to spend 1 for Cindy. I'm going to spend 1 for Daisy. And then I am going to pass turn. Draw for turn. I am going to ink a Flabbersham. I'm going to 4, 5, 6. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spend 8 for Tamatoa. I'm going to send back an item, which will be Popsicle. I'm going to spend 1 to play Popsicle, draw a card, and I will pass turn. Okay, so big hitter is on the board, and I just hit the card that I need in order to actually hit it. So I'm going to spend 3 to play World's Greatest Criminal Mind on Tamatoa. That is clutch. Banish collision character with +5 strength or more. Awesome. This is why you put these things on there in the first place. I'm going to go ahead and quest for 3 to 12, and I'm going to pass turn. So let's see where we go from there. Draw for turn. Okay. I am going to... shoot. This would have been revealed from the thing. So repair your bot is down on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. And then I am going to... Let's see. Gonna go ahead and spend 2 to sail the Azurite Sea. Draw a card. I'm going to put down a Vision of the Future and ink that. I will... Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and spend 3. I'm going to play Sisu, get rid of Daisy Duck, and I will also spend... I'm going to spend 3 to have a Fishbone Quill, I will go ahead and put this down on here, and I am going to spend 2 to dime this little Sisu. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 on there. Oh, faster. Okay, let's see. Your boy has got card advantage. At this point, we'll see how that goes. I am going to... It's 1 card. I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, you know what? No. I want to 8 bare necessities. I just want to take the risk. I'm going to go ahead and quest for 1 to 13, and I'll pass turn. I still want to get that board advantage. I mean, there's a bunch of ingredients right over here. If for some reason he's got a Tamato on there, like, there is a chance for some big damage right off the bat. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to spend 2, 3, 4. Start by spending 4 to play how far I'll go. Top 2 cards. Face down. There's that. I am going to spend 2 to sail the odds right. See? Draw a card. That did not work at all. I am going to quest for 1. I will also... Well, actually, no, hang on. You know what? No. Don't want to do that. Yeah. I don't really want to do that. I'm going to spend 2 to dime Sisu again. 4. I'm going to pass turn. Draw for turn. I am going to spend 2 for Sisu. Oh, man, how many cards do you have, man? 2. It was a situation where he didn't actually play the thing, so there's probably Buffkiss in hand, unless he kind of inked himself out of playing all of them. You know what? I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna go ahead and quest for 1 to 14, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass turn. If it all goes to hell, then I know what to do next. Let's see. Draw for turn. Well, there it is. So I am going to spend 8 for Tamatoa. I actually do not have any. Other things in hand. But what I will do is I will go ahead and spend 2. A dime, do its thing. Add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will also quest for 1. And I will pass turn. Alright, slowly but surely I'm creeping up, man. Let's drop a turn. Damn. 1, 2 for Ursula. I'll go ahead and quest for 2 to 16. We'll see what happens, man. Never know. This might be a big play right over here. Big play. An ink hideaway. I'm going to... 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. other lucky dime. And I think I've got it. So if I quest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. If I dime and pay 2, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one more dime seals it. Well, actually, I could also do this and call it good. So there it is. You guys are. That is the end result of my first demonstration of a playing against myself involving Ruby Sapphire and Amber Steel songs. This is again the proof of concept video done with whatever hardware I do have at my disposal. I definitely hope that you guys liked it, and hopefully I get to see. And you guys, if you guys enjoy this kind of formatting thing on there too, please let me know. I would love to do it again, and I would love to be able to play against myself for all of you guys. But tonight, again, like I said, Ruby Sapphire takes the cake 2-1 against this old arch nemesis, Amber Steel songs. Thanks very much. Take care of yourself. And until next time, this is Herman Nerdstrom saying, let's get nerdy.